Hello and welcome. This episode features a Nissan Leaf for sale. First of all, let's start with the smart chart, just so we make sure we don't forget to look for anything. When shopping for an electric car, you need to go through the exterior condition, whether it's body, paint, or tire wear. Drivetrain condition might seem hard, but there is multiple easy clues, whether it's weird noises, smells, or smoke. Then there's the interior condition. Probably the easiest one there because it's bad if it's usually mostly worn and dirty. Also, some clues that can indicate crash and repair cases. We'll talk about those later. Then take it for a test drive. It's the only mean of communication for the car to express herself. Finally, check the mileage. It's the moment you're most familiar with the car. Keep in mind that there really is no way to be 100% sure a used car won't need any repairs. What I would like to share throughout my work is ways to minimize the risk and deal the best price as fairly as possible. So let's start with the exterior condition. You're looking for inconsistency in the paint job, panels that seems to be lighter or stronger in color than the rest of the car. Usually you need the sun to be shining bright in order to kind of see how the lights plays on the paint. Now let's get our attention over the body condition. As always, this should be the most obvious part. When you're walking around the car, look for any dings, broken parts, scratches, rust, inconsistent alignment in between the hood, panels, bumpers, and doors. Same thing over here. On this plastic, we are starting to see white color. I don't know if it's such a cheap plastic or what is making this. This is still a 2016 model, only have 500 kilo on it. So there's a little bit of scratch over here and white paint. Definitely odd. The wheels and tires. First of all, look and see if all four tires are the same make and model. Then, take a penny and insert it in between the tire tread. It will give you a rough estimation. And finally, check the rims for scratches, pothole damage, and faded paint. Behind each wheel, you'll find mechanical components. Sometimes it's not so easy to take a look at. You'll need a very expensive $700 small accurate device. Your cell phone basically. Use it kind of like what I'm doing now. This tip will give you easy access to components such as front axle, ball joint, lower table. Even if you're not a mechanical expert, you can still look for anything unusual if anything seems torn, broken, rusted, and if you're not sure, compare both sides. Moving on to the drivetrain. With an electric drivetrain, you have a motor, battery, inverter, charger, basically a load of new component we were never used to before. Let's start with the charger ports. All Leaf come with a regular level 1 and 2 charger, but the DC fast charger is optional. How do you tell if the Leaf you're looking at has DC fast charger or not? Open the charger port. This one right here is the level 1 and 2 charger, and this one is the DC fast charger port. Next is onboard charger. There is the 3.3 kilowatt charger and the 6.6 kilowatt charger. For that, we need a chart. Depending on the year model you're looking at, you can expect to have either 3.3 or 6.6 kilowatt. The hardest one to tell will be the 2013 to 2015 model, which is called S. As standard 3.3 kilowatt, optional is 6.6. Now, battery pack. The most important feature in an electric car is the battery. They are kind of expensive to replace and they inevitably degrade. Batteries, the way they are made, they are expected to degrade. The question is how fast. Nissan Leaf, there is a lot you need to know before buying. For instance, 2011 models. As an optional option, you had the option to get a heater to keep the battery from freezing, which means not all 2011 model used to have it, and the battery used to suffer from fast degradation under very hot climate. 2012 models. Now the heater is supposed to be standard on all model, but the battery still suffers from fast degradation under hot climates. 2013 models, all new battery. They basically made a new battery. 2014 models. Some models were delivered with what is called lizard battery, a battery that Nissan claimed was heat tolerant and would not degrade over time because of heat. 2015 model, it should all include lizard battery. So it's sort of important to check for battery degradation before buying the car. What you're interested in are the capacity bars, which are shown over here. A brand new battery will show 12 bars. A highly degraded battery might show about 9 or under 9 bars. It is important to note that any 2011 or 2012, even 2013 Leaf should be expected to have some degradation by this point, especially if located in a high climate temperature country. There have been stories of people, including dealers, you know, resetting the capacity bars, causing them to show all 12 bars again for a few days or weeks, sometimes even months, because depending on how much you drive. The computer gathers data about the battery and over time computes how much the battery has suffered degradation. If the computer figures out that the battery doesn't have the capacity it should, it will start dropping the bars very quickly. Basically, if you're buying a 2011 or 2012, even 2013 Leaf at full 12 bars, ask if the battery was refurbished or replaced for a new one. At this point, I would also take the VIN number to the dealer to verify by written that the car in question is still under warranty for a battery replacement. Moving on to the motor condition. Start it up and listen. It's the perfect time to inspect the motor bay. Let's move on to the third part from the investigation. Interior condition. Look for any interior wear mark. This kind of cars, the mileage plays a big part in their values. So what we need to do is find clues all around that can justify the mileage. Look for any unusual wear and tear on the steering wheel, seats, switches. Any unusual condition could be caused by excessive use, which should indicate a relatively high mileage. We talked earlier about clues indicating a crash and repair case. It's mainly the seat belts mixed with black mechanic kind of dirt. When a car gets into the hands of a cheap money-making mechanic, you'll most probably find black mechanic dirt all around the interior. Granted, it doesn't mean the car was crashed. The car might simply be in for cheap maintenance. A crash and repair case is most usually given away by the seat belts. See, seat belts are made in a specific way so they lock when the car gets into a crash. and they have to be replaced. They are kind of expensive to buy directly from the dealer because they usually come as a full kit because of safety measures, which makes it the perfect black market item, usually stolen parts. This is where it gets interesting. Parts on the black market aren't handled with all due care and attention. Once they have been removed from stolen cars, they are basically thrown away, waiting for customers. Meanwhile, those parts accumulate dirt, rust, and all kind of nasty stuff. The weird part is that nobody bothered cleaning them up. That's the best explanation I was able to come up with after witnessing numerous recent cars with seatbelts in terrible states. In this case, though, the seatbelts are crystal clean. All good. Moving on to windows and sunroof. Check if all the windows are working properly, open them up and close them down. One new feature you have to keep in mind is an interior heat pump, which is optional and useful because it is much more efficient at heating the interior cabin against winter. Obviously, if winter never visits you where you live, you don't need to worry about heat pumps. Don't forget to check if the windshield wipers show any malfunction. Now it's time for a test drive. I would suggest to drive it in city roads, then take it on the highway. Make sure the radio is turned off and ask the salesman to remain quiet so you can focus on the car. After going through that smart chart thoroughly, you really should begin to have an idea on the actual mileage of the car, so check it out at the very end of your investigation. If the shown number makes you uncomfortable, walk away or try and get the best deal as fairly as possible. I'll thank you for watching and hope you enjoyed. Whether you're looking to buy or to be entertained by nice car footage, be sure to subscribe and scroll through my channel. There's much more stuff about cars. Take care and goodbye.